So today on the show, we have an incredible human being by the name of JaredLeaf. And so most high school kids, especially student athletes, they kind of have the typical dream of work hard in high school, get a full ride scholarship, and get that opportunity to hopefully go play in the pros someday or play as long as you can. And so that was your kind of dream. And so walk me through sort of just who you were in high school, your college story, and kind of where you're at right now.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me on the show, Mike.
Of course.
So let's see. High school, I played football all throughout high school. I went to Alhambra High School in Martinez, California. It's about 30 minutes from San Francisco, just to give you an idea of where it's at. When I was there, I just tried to be the best student and the best athlete I could be. Graduated with a 3.5, and was fortunate enough to receive some college offers. The best of those being University of Hawaii. 2011 was my first year at University of Hawaii. After that season, I redshirted my freshman year, and then after that season, our coach got fired, and they had brought a new coach in for the next season. So 2012, I stuck around and played under that coach for a year, and after that, just decided it wasn't for me, and decided to transfer back to San Jose State University, which is like an hour from home. So it was kind of like coming back home for me. Coming out of spring ball, I was number one on the depth chart for middle linebacker. So that was huge for me because coming out of Hawaii, I was just, after things not working out there, my confidence was kind of low. But after that, I was feeling good and I was ready, and I felt like my dream to go to the NFL was back on track. So really excited about that. And then maybe 2 weeks after spring ball ended, it was April 23rd, 2014. So I woke up that night around like maybe 11 p.m., I think it was, and I noticed there was like a little trickle of smoke coming through my door. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Maybe somebody burnt something while they were cooking. So I opened the door because I kind of wanted to like see how bad the fire was, just to see how like maybe I could get out of here. And we're in an apartment that's like on the fourth floor, and there's no fire escape. So it's either jump out the window onto concrete, 4 stories, or go out the door. So I open the door to see what's going on, and just a wall of smoke comes in as soon as I open the door. Just black smoke just fills the whole room.
Wow.
You know when you see a movie and you watch them go through a burning building and there's like a little fire over here and a little over here, and you can kind of run and navigate through that?
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, it's not how fire works. It just takes up everything. So I opened the door and started to make a run for it, and within 2 steps, it was just everything head to toe was just orange flames everywhere. And maybe it was about 20 feet from there, from my room to the door, and just running through that, just everything was all in flames. So I'm literally like running through an inferno, what seems like hell, to get to that door. Um, Thankfully, the door was open, so I was able to get out. But just within the time of running from my room to the front door, my whole upper body got burnt.
What percentage of your body was burnt?
I got 50% of my body burnt. It was second degree burns and deep second degree burns.
Wow. And so
Yeah.
50% of your body has got second degree burns on it. You're in an induced coma. Clearly,
Mhm.
you're done playing football and going to school, right?
Yeah, so I mean, as soon as I came out of the coma, it was like 2 weeks. And after that, one of the first things that the doctors told me is you can play football again. It's going to be some time, but you can play football again.
And so, how long did it take for you to get back on the field? And when you got back, what happened?
So it was pretty much a full year of not doing full contact. And then after that, I was able to get back into it.
Back into playing football. And so, you started playing football again, super stoked to be back, and then you ended up getting another injury, right?
Right.
And so,
Yeah. So
talk me through that.
it's 2 weeks before the first game of the season. And we're just doing a routine tackling drill. It's called a gator roll drill, where you tackle a pop up bag, those big blue bags that you see. You tackle it and you grab it and you gator roll it down. It's kind of sort of to simulate grabbing the legs and dragging somebody down like that. Um, it's usually done with a pad underneath so you can land softly on top of it. But we didn't have a pad that day. And so when I did the drill, I gator rolled and the bag was lighter than I had expected it to be. So as I pulled, I really jerked myself back and I ended up hitting my back of my head on the ground. And everything went white and things were flashing. And by the end of that practice, I'm lining up in my stance and my legs are shaking underneath me. I can barely hold myself up. And I knew it was kind of bad, and I had a really bad headache that night. But so I had to tell the trainers because I knew I couldn't go on like that. But I told them I had a concussion, and they agreed with me. They diagnosed me with a concussion, and then 5 days after that initial hit, I started to experience something called uh, post-concussion syndrome. And this is something that can happen within 30 days of after you've actually hit your head and had a concussion. Um, it's where you just sort of start to get symptoms like sensitivity to light and sound and things like that, and trouble processing and thinking. And I remember sitting in class and I was fine, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody hit the reset button on my head, and I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what the teacher was talking about. All the lights were hurting my eyes, and I couldn't think straight. And after that, that probably lasted for a good 6 weeks,
Wow.
um, which was serious enough for me to sit back and think, do I really want to risk feeling like this long term? My whole thing had been not giving up,
Right.
but suddenly I'm faced with a choice of long term health, you know what I mean, or playing football for this year.
Absolutely. And so for any athlete or any student out there that has the ultimate dream of playing and going pro, and that's the thing that they're all striving for.
hmm
How important is it to have another passion or something else that you love to do other than just that one thing? And like, how has that kind of helped you transition from not playing football anymore into having a different passion now?
Let me say it this way. It's okay to just love your sport and be all about that, as long as you can take that passion that you give and that effort that you put into that and be able to put it into something else.
Absolutely. And so you always hear that like the struggle makes you who you are, and the tough stuff that you go through is what makes you better as a person. Do you have
Mhm.
any sense of gratitude for the fire or the concussions and just the tough story that you've lived so far? Like, is there any sense of gratitude that you have towards the struggle?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in those times and when you're going through those dark places, it's just like, why? Why me? Why did this have to happen to me? Because you have an idea of where you're going in life, and then these things kind of hit you off your path. But as long as you can, navigate those waters and know that you're going to have your ups and downs, and get through those times, at the end of the day, you will be stronger at the end, because you'll know your low point, and you'll know how strong you had to be to fight through that. And, you'll know what it takes on a day to day to fight through some of the hardest things in your life.
And so for a kid who is watching this or listening right now and they're at that low
Mhm.
point, like they're in that valley in their story,
Right.
what would you say to a kid like that?
You got to do things for yourself that you really want to do and really want to pursue. You have to have a purpose. And it might not be easy to find that purpose, but you're not going to get it by sitting and waiting around and just hoping it'll just fall upon you. You have to go out and do things and experience things and try things, in order for those things to sort of make themselves visible to you. So, even if you're going through tough times, something I always told myself, was just, like I said earlier, never give up.
Absolutely. Well, man, I know you've persevered through so much, and it's awesome to hear how far you've come and that you found a new passion and a new outlet in filmmaking and using a camera to capture stories. And so, dude, thank you so much for sharing your story and for giving us a minute of your time today. I really appreciate it, man. And thanks for being so open to share the struggle of what it takes to overcome something as tough as you've been through.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, my friend. I appreciate it.